everyone, I'm your host, Frady Cat, welcoming you back to The Letter, and welcoming you to one of the first of many hour and something long videos that I'll be doing of this series and possibly more series. Yeah, cause I'm not sure if you guys have seen the video that I did, kind of updating everybody. This is 30 hours long. That's a long time. So, since I've only been doing about 30 to 40 minutes of this, I'm gonna try to do as much as I can in one go, and get it out for you guys. So, let's do it. It's far too easy to get them to pay attention and raptured. Let's see, what are we? Profiles. Oh! Okay. Hannah. Hannah Wright. Evans. Birth date April 30th. Taurus, 31 years old. That does not look 31. Height 5'7", 170 centimeters. Occupation heiress. Former former finance? Wow, we're off to a great start. I know how to read, I swear. Oh my god. Fiance. Good. Finance manager. Nationality British, religion Anglican, education, master's in business administration, major in accounting. Likes that word, dogs, fashion, parties, and dancing. The beach, children, iconic women, charity, math. Of the Luxborn upper classes, Hannah is used to living a life of luxury. Absent parents made her crave for attention, though, something she's gained from her private tutors and nannies instead. It was never enough, however. She studied hard in order to make her parents proud, going into business so that she could work alongside them. The challenge in her otherwise privileged life was certainly a thrill for her, at the very least. She had many suitors, dating different men and women. Yes! Canonly by character! Yes! Sorry, you don't see those a lot in games. But it was through work that she met Luke. It was love at first sight for her. Upon her parents' death, Luke proposed to her. That was the move that led to the merging of Wright Enterprise and Evans Incorporated, and her subsequent retirement. Their 7-year marriage is strained, but Hannah tries her best to make it work. Oh, bro, I am so sorry. I hate your husband, by the way. Like, I really hate him. Like, he can go fuck himself with a cactus. Okay, let's get to it. They hang on to my every word and follow my every move. All of it would have been stifling had I not grown used to such stares. Most are respectful, some are hostile, if we are honest. And a few are downright inappropriate. After all, I am.
Hannah Wright!
Hi. There's a moment of agitation as a familiar but less than welcome face approaches me with a suggestive smirk on his face. Yeah, I don't like that look either. My god. Of course, I have to keep a benevolent smile and greet him as I greet any good friend. Why, though? If you don't want him here, you're rich enough and powerful enough to go and tell him to get the fuck out of your house. If this is your house. After all, this man can turn heads, being famous in his own right.
Officer Lee! What a pleasant surprise. I didn't think you'd have the time to attend tonight's party.
He is more Luke's friend than mine, really, and I am quite sure he only invited his wife. Then tell him to GTFO. Much like I am only friends with the chief inspector because of Luke, Luke is only friends with Rochelle because of me. Unlike how he treated Lee, however, Luke never hid his animosity for the Lee matriarch. It was an odd sort of friendship where we have awkward double dates. See, I don't get this with couples. Like, if your spouse does not like your friends, then why in the bejesus are you wanting them to hang out with your friends? Just go off on your own. Shoo shoo. I don't even recall his first name. It started with an N, I think. I might be wrong. Aside from being Chief Inspector of Luxbourne Police, his wife, Rochelle Lee... How do you pronounce that? Vance owns a General Electronics company, fridges and freezers mostly.
Oh, I always have time for my favorite socialite couple. Might I say, you look positively ravishing tonight.
Might I say you go the fuck away?
I see the husband isn't with ya.
And is that why you came over? The way he eyes me up is enough to make my skin crawl. I can already tell I'm not gonna like you. I already knew I wasn't gonna like you, but I'm really not gonna like you. I just wish Luke was here to fend off the more unseemly of our peers. You know the ones. Men who are just a bit too friendly, staring too long at my assets, and getting close just because my husband is not here. And to think they have the gall to do this at my own party. In my own house, if I might add. Okay, if you don't like him, tell him to go. Like, seriously, if you don't like a person, like, you don't have to put up with that shit. Just tell them to go away. They're... whatever. But like any high society woman worth her salt, I know how to handle it with grace and dignity.
I suppose you are looking pleasant as well. Luke's busy with work, unfortunately. Rochelle isn't here?
A shame. I do hope he isn't causing you much trouble. That husband of yours can be a bit daft sometimes, acting like he's still some young bachelor.
You all are getting what he's putting down, right? It's not just me. Like, y'all getting it too?
The wife sends her regards and her apologies, but something...
Damn it! The wife sends her regards and her apologies, but something came up with the doctor and she needed to attend to it. You know her, being pregnant and all. We make small talk. Rather, I'm forced to do so, as he would not leave my side after finding his place there. Much to my chagrins, I've been extricated from the few who flock in hopes of flattering, for I can tolerate them far better than Lee. He's a nice enough person and I adore his wife, who was obviously the brains behind the two. But there is something unsettling about him. Could he be a murderer? I do not trust him as much as I want to. Is it because he's a murderer? He regales to me tales of the Luxbourne Police Department, a different affair to the usual gossip I am privy to, and though I loathe to admit it, is interesting nonetheless. I expect the topic of business to die out quickly, which would be understandable enough due to the confidential nature of his work. But, oh boy, was I wrong.
So, wearing civvies, I steal and drive off with one of the police mobiles, right? In the mirror, I see the new tank chasing on foot and screaming about theft.
Uh-huh.
The look on his face was priceless when I parked it in the garage.
So riveting.
Oh my. You made him chase you all the way home for a prank. What did Rochelle have to say about that?
Rochelle has a strange love and hate affair with Lee. Oh, I bet she does. He is a married man who did not grow up past his early 20s, judging by the way he acts. Surprisingly enough, they've been married for a good 20 years. a lifetime if you compare it to my marriage of 7 years with Luke, which, from what you've said, is probably not going to go well. I, on the other hand, well, Luke is no Lee. I should be happy about that, I suppose. Although my darling did have his moments.
Hey, the wife pulled my ear and gave me a good talking to, though. Besides, we live in a flat a block away, so it wasn't much of a grand chase.
Weren't you living in a house near the countryside?
Moved for work, you know. Or you probably don't.
No, I don't. But a flat in downtown? I suppose if that's what you like.
What is with your face? What's wrong with apartments? Rich people!
Oh, it's horrid. Hate that tiny place, no matter how convenient it can be for work. 55 square yards are not enough when you need to get away from the wife.
See, I also don't understand this. If you don't like the person, why are you staying with them?
I wouldn't mind a place away from the city. Even started looking at the ads. I spied an interesting lot, actually. Heard it was finally put up for sale, or that something mansion. You know the one with all the ghost stories.
Oh, so we're in the past now. I know what he's talking about. There are really only a few urban legends around here. It's
The Ermagerd mansion?
Ermagerd? Okay.
That's the one. Worthy of a king it is. I'd buy it myself, but Rochelle would only gripe if I brought it up to her. Not to mention all the expenses a place like that will be a real fixer-upper. You also have to find someone willing to work there with how superstitious people can be.
Yeah, and all the ghosts. And dead bodies. Ghosts and dead bodies. They are in there, man. You should know this!
If it becomes a problem, just hire someone to do an exorcism.
Smart. Smart. Why can't people be like that? Smart.
Actually, I do know of someone who could be up to the task. You remember the Ludgates party at their Christchurch summer residence?
Of course. It was an excellent soiree. Everything was so classy, too. Such good taste.
Oh, that place was a pigsty until they hired out this interior designer and they turned it into a bloody palace. She worked for the Exodus for their apartment in Soho too, and they recommended her when we were looking up pieces for our beach house in Porto Colom.
So you're the person who told. Okay. Yep, now I remember. Okay then.
I think I have a business card right. No, I must have left it in my other jacket. Anyway, she's called, what's her name? McCullough, Marianne, I believe, yes. But truly, if anyone were to get that place in McCullough, well, they'd be the envy and the talk of the town.
And you said the magic words that now make her want that house.
Well, if you put it that way, I might just snatch it up for myself.
Fucking rich people. Oh yeah, no, just house. Pff. It's like buying a new pair of shoes. I could just get that easy.
This place was starting to feel a bit small lately anyway.
It does not look small. It does not. It looks big. Okay? I would love to have a place like that. Sure, a 3-story penthouse might not fit the definition of small for some people. Okay, maybe a lot of people. But it isn't big enough to have grand parties in. You don't... What? As it is, I only invited about 30 people to this one, and it's already feeling cramped in here. Again, does not look cramped. And that... Oh, God. It certainly would be nice if I didn't have to ride an elevator up and down several floors before I can get anywhere as well. All Luke's words, and not mine. Besides, I have been looking for a good anniversary gift. Rich people. Luke might like this one. Where is he anyway? October 21st, Friday. Luke is dressed to the nines, as he usually is, and he looks ready for whatever the day will throw at him. Hannah Wright threw a party in their penthouse at the Cache The city's most powerful were seen, including Chief Inspector Harvey Lee of the Luxborn Police Department. From him, the socialite head of the Armgard Mansion's upcoming open house, and the interior designer, Marianne McCullough. His butler and valet wait at his side, just in case he isn't as ready as he looks. Oh, sure, this is normal. What is confusing me is the fact that he is on his way out of the penthouse, considering we won't have anywhere to go until much later.
Where are you going?
I am to attend the Triad Autumn Tasting. I do believe I informed you of this 2 weeks ago.
Yes. And might I remind you that I had stricken that off your schedule? Because 1, the doctor told you to stop consuming so much alcohol. And 2, I informed you a few days ago about the open house we are going to attend in its place. I've even found this marvelous interior designer, Mary Ann McCullough.
It's a 3.5-hour drive to Cardiff. I don't have time for this. This is like that little party you threw all over again. You don't inform me of it, and you expect me to stay and be a gracious host when I have business elsewhere.
Can you just go off and die now? I'd really like you to just go off and die now. I'm hating Hannah, like, less as the time goes on, because I feel really bad for, like, judging her so harsh. Though seriously, it's not that hard to get the freaking name right when it's just a syllable. But I really hate you, and that's probably never gonna change. No, I know that's never gonna change. Go fuck off and die.
You know how I operate, Hannah. Unless this was penciled in, I am sticking to my schedule.
I hate a dick.
If I may intrude, the madam is correct. Your physician did insist you moderate your drinking, unless you wish to incur acute pancreatitis. And you did have this open house penciled in last Wednesday morning.
Bullocks, I don't remember doing so.
Well, you did. While very hungover, in fact.
Seeing him pissed off, it just makes me feel just something so warm inside. He did. Moaned about me being too loud, but gave in after some pushing. Perhaps that was a bit too cruel and manipulative of me, but...
Whose side are you on?
The person who pays in the most.
Come on, Luke. You promised we'd do whatever I want this weekend.
Gordon Bennett, fine. I am giving this house tour of yours a chance.
Why is that in a... Never mind.
But if it proves to be a waste of time, I am going to Cardiff, and you are going to take a cab home.
Eat a big old bag of dicks. Wow. Douche canoe.
Are we clear?
It's just a bit of a husband and wife tit for tat, isn't it? All couples have their arguments. Not like this, bro! And if they do, divorce. That's what divorce is for. Once the honeymoon phase is over, as they seem to call it, reality sets in that you and your partner might not always see eye to eye, to the point that he'd make you get a cab home so that he could go out drinking when he was told not to. No. Perhaps it has been the years. 7 of them is nothing to scoff
I
at.
just cannot bloody believe I agreed to this. I was really looking forward to the Triad tasting.
Oh, boo fucking who. Though sometimes I think it's something a bit more than just simple disagreements, and I have to stop myself from wondering where we went wrong. You married him. That's where you went wrong.
There's always the Triad Christmas tasting in Manchester next month, and that'll only be an hour-and-a-half drive.
Have I been neglectful? Have I offended? Have I acted shamefully?
Yes, but Cardiff.
But who fucking cares? Certainly, any problem can be discussed, as long as he doesn't turn me away.
Well, there goes my good mood.
And there goes mine.
Are you happy now, Hannah?
I'd be happy if you dropped dead. Why must you treat me this way? I am happy. Okay, guys. I'll be right back, because you know I have to do the good ending. Dang it. Okay, so we're back now. And like I said, I'm going for the good ending, so you guys get to go and see me do this. Even though...
Yes, I am very happy, Luke. Because for once in a very long time, we are doing what I want.
How did that make my relationship with him get better? I want him to die, but I was already warned by someone that... Ugh!
I'm ecstatic. Understood? And this would be perfect if you stop acting like a child who needs their nappy changed. We will be leaving after lunch for the Ermengarde mansion. You are going to park your rear in the car and keep mum. And you are going to behave during the tour.
Needless to say, Luke looks a bit shocked at my little outburst. He opened and closed his mouth a few times, struggling to reply, but he crosses his arm to look like, well, a moping child.
Any more rules for this little excursion of yours, Your Highness?
That's the name you're gonna be calling me all the time! Right? That's how that works? In that kind of thing? Moving on.
No wine.
No wine?
Yeah, bitch!
Unacceptable! I am already not allowed to the tasting, and you would deprive me of that simple pleasure?
Oh! Yes! Yes! Give me your bitching! I love it! If I can do anything to make this character more miserable, I will do it.
If I see you take one sip today, I will put the stocks under lock and key. Do you understand me?
Don't forget the bottles he keeps in his dresser.
Whose side are you on?
Man, bitch. Man!
How many times in one day can you ask that?
I love this character, Sask. Sask. Sass. I love his sass.
As many times as I need you, traitor.
The ride to the mansion is quiet, with Luke having stared out the window the entire way, not paying attention to anything around him. Meanwhile, I am conflicted. I don't know if I should apologize for changing his plans like that. But by the time we arrive at the mansion, I see his eyes light up in genuine interest. Apologizing is the last thing on my mind. The whole affair with the Ermengarde mansion is certainly an interesting experience, and like that, I'm also going to save. Save. The place had been renovated and restored by the owners to what they claim to be acceptable standards. The mansion itself looks like something befitting a fairy tale or a period piece. It is tastefully decorated, and with a little bit of love and attention, I'm sure it can be a place Luke and I can call home. And the number of other prospective buyers that have come from the powerful and wealthy of Luxbourne certainly did not disappoint, marking this estate as prime property. The Lees are amongst the group who went with the Rose Woman, and I saw a few other notable faces, though I did not really feel like mingling. Unfortunately for every one of them, the Wrights are interested in buying. What's been bugging my mind, however, is that Isabella! With an A! What is her problem? I still don't quite understand what is happening. One moment she is scrambling to give us the paperwork to finalize the sale, then she is panicking over some sort of prank letter or another.
Dear me. Is Isabella all right?
Isabella. It is apparent with the way she shakes and by the pallor of her skin, something has really shaken her up. Oh, so you're worried about her and not uppity about it. Okay.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
I am worried. but it will be the best if she is attended to by someone more familiar to her, like her partner. But even then, the girl refuses Rose's offered drink and looks just about ready to make a run for it.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
And she does so, just as I predicted, and her partner follows like a concerned mother. There is an awkward air among us as we are left in the wake of whatever that was. The others murmur and gossip with each other, speaking of the poor, daft girl and telling the tale to whoever was not audience to the act in the first place. Okay, liking you less again. It doesn't take long for the woman Rose to return and pull us aside from the study for what I rightfully assume is damage control. Rose invites Marianne in too, hoping to apologize to her as well. But the woman refuses, saying she is not one of her clients anyway. That leaves myself, Rose, and Luke, the last all too eager to make himself comfortable in a study he, no doubt, already claimed as his own.
I can't apologize enough about what just happened. Please forgive Isabella. She's been under a lot of pressure lately. She's young, and all those rumors about this being haunted just got to her head.
Wait, I changed that.
And it must be this terrible heat, too. Not a drop of rain for days now.
Are you sure it is wise to just let her go like that? Where is the poor dear? She might get hurt.
She's more likely to hurt somebody else, given what just happened.
I changed it, though.
I told her to sit down and take a break. Already rang someone to pick her up, too.
That might be for the best, dear. But please, we're here to talk about the mansion, yes?
Apparently, we're gonna
Why,
focus on
I
that.
absolutely adore it. Don't you, Luke? Some of the rooms will certainly have to be repurposed. We want to change the appliances and have Marianne lead on the decor, but the whole thing is just lovely.
I guess. It's certainly a lot roomier than our penthouse.
Exactly. Lots of space for guests, parties, a lot of room for little ones to run around too.
Let's not discuss that right now, Buttercup.
Yes, children.
Anyway, I do think it would be a shame to let this mansion slip past us.
But you haven't even finished touring the house.
Well, we like what we've seen.
That face, man. I love the art, but just the red around the eyes just really, I'm making your job easier for her, am I not? No need for loans or long price negotiations. We can just sign a contract and close the deal. Really, we think the woman will be more happy about an easy sale. I know how these estate agents worked, how long they have to wait and how much they have to spend even just for a single sale. Why, she should be jumping for joy by now. I'm sure the commission on this mansion is nothing to sneeze at, even if she has to split it with that Isabel girl. Isabella, for the last goddamn time.
Do you think we could have horses here?
Yes, those do sound nice, love. Anyway, if anyone else is interested in buying this property, I assure you that I'm able and willing to give a better offer.
I
A vineyard would be nice. Or maybe
And we do reward our people quite generously, Rose. So if I were you, I would start on that paperwork.
helicopter pad.
I pause, and there's a small moment of complete silence where Rose and I stare incredulously at Luke. There's an unspoken understanding, a rule between the two of us that we have to put on an act. With our social standing, where image matters, it is also important to avoid making enemies, and to follow this rule is an easy feat for me. From youth, I have been the well-trained social butterfly, gracious and graceful. Luke, on the other
Wait,
hand...
what, Luke? No, what? Whatever would we need a helipad for?
Well, he likes to play the fool sometimes, even if he is anything but. As he throws me a wry smile, I shake my head and beckon Rose over. This is our home, and there is nothing she or anyone else can do to change my mind. This is a place that speaks of power and importance, and at the same time of safety and comfort. No, it does not. No, Nope, there are ghosts and dead bodies there. Perhaps we can even have our family here. There's definitely no better gift than this for our special date. Why, everything here is absolutely wonderful. Oh, dear God. Well, except for this ugly painting in the study. It looks like a bad fake of the Edvard Munch painting.
Here's the deal. I'm willing to pay 10% higher than your listing price. If anyone tries to outbid us, just add another 5%. I doubt anyone can, of course. Or, you know what? Just add 15% to the listing price, and we can sign all the paperwork now.
I guess, if that's what you want. That won't be any trouble. I don't have all the papers now. Didn't think this would be a quick sell. I'll have copies sent to you so you can look over them. And if you'd still like to finish the rest of the tour with Isabella's group, you're more than welcome to.
No, I think we're good here. We'd appreciate a private tour of the place a lot more, I think.
Yes, so we can see all the awesome dead bodies and apparently grotesque paintings of ghosty goose and all that good stuff. Oh my God.
All right. Should I let Marianne in, then?
Marianne? Oh, right. She's been waiting outside the study this whole time, hasn't she? I'll need to have a little chat with her to move this little mansion project forward.
Please do.
There's a look of apprehension when the other woman enters the study. Yet, like a professional, I see the moment when she steels herself and masks her worry. Admirable.
We have this project then?
Of course. Will you be needing anything from us?
Having the floor plans would be a great start, just so that I can look at them beforehand. And if you could tell me when you're available for a meeting so that I can include it in my calendar?
Oh, is a meeting really all that necessary, Marianne?
Yeah?
I guess we can send Johans to help you out. You two can start by getting rid of this ugly painting.
A hush falls upon the room at my request.
What painting?
Yeah, that's not a painting. That's a mirror. And lo and behold, the painting is gone. In its place, a mirror stands, which leaves me to look at my own confused expression.
Odd. Well, no matter. Back to the topic at hand. Marianne, dear, we are simply far too busy to meet up.
Or perhaps maybe I should...
But I guess we can free up a day to meet with you.
Yes! Yeah, no, see, when I see scary shit happening in a house, here's what I do. I walk out, and I never come back. I did not earn my name for nothing.
I don't really need another Maudlin Monday reading about Maury anyway. The book club can function without me for one day. What time shall we be seeing each other? How does lunch sound?
Besides, my house is a higher priority over book club. Why, we could hold the next meeting in this place. Surely the beauty and grandeur of it will inspire spirit and lively debates about whether modern-day writers could match up to the classics. I might as well clear up the rest of my week to handle whatever affairs buying this mansion requires of me. 1 second, gotta get a drink, guys. Whew. My throat, man. Any social activity can be put off until the Ermengarde, or rather the Wright Mansion's great debut. I'll have my fill of great parties and gatherings, especially when I organize them myself.
That sounds good. Although, with a project of this scope, we might need most of the day to tackle your concerns. A more thorough inspection of the place is also preferable.
Breakfast then. It's a date.
It's really not.
All right. Monday, 10 o'clock sharp. We'll see you then.
Actually, Marion suggested that we meet at 9, but who is even awake at that unholy hour? I was lucky enough to wake up this morning before Luke went all the way to Cardiff. We say our goodbyes, shake hands, and make it clear without outright saying it that we now own this house. By the time we left the mansion grounds, sunset is almost upon us.
So, you really want to buy this place then?
Yes, she really wants to buy it.
That's a bit of a big impulse buy, even coming from you.
Yep. Fucking rich people.
Not that I'm complaining.
What is with these faces? They look so evil. Oh my god. I love the art style, but he looks evil. He looks... Look at him! Evil! I feel elation when I hear those words from him. It's not every day one is able to please someone like Luke. Let me save! Yes! He gives away false flattery to sway those who starve for his attention and approval. But in the privacy of closed doors, he would often express his grievances. He neither censored himself in front of me nor spared me from his criticism.
You have been saying the penthouse was getting a bit too small for you. Happy anniversary!
Oh. That time of the year already?
Wow. I forgot about it last year, too. Wow! Then, back to previous statements. I understand that he's a busy man, but...
Is that why you want to buy it?
Yes. You don't like it?
I do. But I remember you used to talk about how you wanted to live next to the beach.
Botany Bay, Kent. I remember the sea, water that stretched out for miles and miles as far as the eye can see. As a kid, I loved our beach trips, swimming all day as much as I could. I was a well-behaved child, and the only time I was ever truly difficult was when I refused to get out of the waters, even when my fingers had gone all wrinkly. And even when they managed to pull me out of the water, there was always sandcastles. The day before we married, I told Luke that I wanted a house on the beach and a dog. And a kid or two. None of those came true 7 years later.
That was a childish dream. Living next to the beach is so impractical if you really think about it.
I don't know. It's not a bad thought to see you in a bathing suit every day.
Maybe another time, love. We still have forever, don't we?
He says nothing, only grabbing my hand and holding it tight as we spend the rest of the ride home in silence. I miss the sea. Sick and hovering over the loo at 3 in the morning, the picture I paint really now is hardly glamorous. A horrible fishy taste is left in my mouth as I throw up at what I had for dinner, and I hate the acrid stench that fills the lavatory. The burning sensation in the back of my throat is of no help whatsoever. I can feel another wave of nausea come up on me when the door opens.
Hannah, what are you doing so early out of bed?
I'm fine, love. I must have just eaten something bad.
That's all I managed to say before vomiting again into the porcelain throne. Lovely.
Just go back to bed, Luke. I'm going to clean up here.
I refuse to look at him. I don't want him to see me like this. Bitch, he had better go and stay with you and help you through that. Like, you're sick. Care about your partner, man. Care about your partner! The last time I had a horrible morning retching into a toilet was during my college years, being the life of the party. Thoughtless and shameless, I had thrown away months to frivolous merriment and pointless hookups. I didn't even retain any of the connections I had made from the time. Sure, they still know of me, and I still know of them, and we still do business from time to time. But I've lost touch with anyone who I didn't see on a daily basis. I hardly have any of the friends I had when I was still Hannah Evans. Teachers, fellow university students, drinking buddies, and old conquests like Jack.
No, don't touch me, sweetie. It's disgusting. I'm disgusting.
Luke sits down next to me on the toilet floor to hold my hair even as I cough up more fish. He wipes the vomit from the corner of my mouth and just stares.
Do I need to fire someone? I don't feel sick.
Just feeling a bit under the weather, dear. It's been unbearably hot as of late, hasn't it? I do wish it would rain.
Are you sure it wasn't those sweets? I told you not to eat those sweets.
Maybe.
What the hell?
Well, don't laugh.
Well, I can't help if you make that sort of face.
He starts chuckling, and soon enough, he is in fits of laughter. This scene happening next to a loo filled with sick just makes the whole thing bizarre, and it nearly makes me start giggling as well. I try to stifle it though as I smack him on the shoulder.
I'm not making a face, Luke. Stop laughing. Shut up.
When he would not stop laughing, I let myself go as laughter bubbles from my own throat, and I forgot whatever ill feelings plague me. We are just husband and wife, laughing together at a funny face, the little things in life. I let myself go because I know that these moments will not last forever. Sadly, they don't. But if I just know the terrible things that are to come for us, I would have wished for everything I have then and there that the laughter stayed. October 26th, Wednesday.
Hiya! Come on now!
Okay. 21st. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Oh, here we go. Friday, October 21st. During the open house, Hannah pressured the estate agent to sell her the mansion. The rights also met their interior designer. During their ride home, Hannah revealed that the mansion is her anniversary gift for Luke. Things seemed to be looking good until Hannah suddenly fell ill later that night. Luxborn Independent Film and Theater Festival celebrates the... Yeah. Profiles. Didn't I already look at that? I could have sworn I already looked at that. The place is bustling with movers carrying furnishings here and there, along with several trunks of personal belongings taken from our penthouse. I honestly think that you might be pregnant, man. If you're the only one getting sick, you might be pregnant. Luke watches them like a hawk, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets stolen.
Careful now. I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African Blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings. Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
Sorry.
Luke, do the dishwashers go into the kitchen or the butler's pantry?
Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's Emma. No, you there, put that down. You do not manhandle a Napoleon Abueva.
The sass in that line! Oh my god! I can see the exasperation, and I have to send the foreman an apologetic glance. Even Johannes rolls his eyes as he goes by. Considering Luke is always like this during a project, Johannes and I have gotten used to it. Poor Marianne, on the other hand, looks a bit stressed at seeing the gigantic mess before quickly going back to work. Everything just has to be perfect, exactly the way he wants it. One little thing in a place, one little thing that didn't fit the image he clearly constructed in his head, and Luke gets bent out of shape. Well, like my dad.
Sweetie, why don't we go and sort your suits upstairs? Let Johannes and Marianne and the foreman deal with the rest of the work.
We have this, Mrs. Wright.
Yes, please do go before a blood vessel bursts. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean.
Best character! You and Zach. Best characters. Taking him by the hand, I lead him upstairs into our bedroom. This place has been arranged first so that we can get some rest, no matter what state the rest of the mansion is in. Damn, that's a nice room. Like, damn. I am definitely glad I can just lie down on a soft, comfy bed after what has been a busy morning. Watching Luke act like his life depended on getting this move done is tiring all on its own. And to think I have a whole day of this ahead of me. I feel the bed dip beside me as Luke sits down with a sigh.
Well, I can't wait for this to be over.
I don't know. It's fun seeing you all fired up. Here at home and not at work, you know.
You know I can't always be home, Hannah. I have a company to run, unless you've forgotten.
Okay, there's business, and then there's family. Business should not be like this. It should be like, kind of like this thing, constantly, you know, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Stop being an ass. That's all I gotta say.
I haven't forgotten. You're the one who insists on being there to make sure each and every little thing is under control. I just really miss you sometimes, and I wish you were at home more often. Why, if you're not careful, I might go a bit loopy and I'll start bringing cats home. And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm just filled with felines that follow you everywhere.
Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture.
Gonna save again. Because there might, yes, be more decisions, and I don't want to have to go through all that just to get the good ending.
Besides, you don't even like cats.
True, true. Dogs are infinitely superior, of course.
What's with all the cat hate? What's with all the cat hate? Screw both of y'all.
But
Cats are amazing.
what about the wet dog
Dogs,
smell? The mess. I'm not cleaning up after a mutt, no matter how cute.
If you want a pet, you take care of the pet.
If you think about it, a cat would be better.
We laugh. It's not always that we can just lie down and talk about these sort of things. To joke around as if we're teenagers again, with very little problem in the way of responsibilities and roles. To hear his genuine, honest to goodness laughter is a rarity. This is just the second time as of late, and I can only see it as a sign of good things to
All
come.
good points. I guess we could just have kids. That is, if you prefer dealing with soiled nappies and sick as opposed to dead birds, mice, and litter boxes. I've already told Marianne about turning the second bedroom into a children's room.
I guess sometimes I don't know what when I'm crossing a line. I didn't say that I'm good comedian, did I?
Not this again.
What? I wasn't being serious.
It's not something you take the piss out of. Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hannah. We've talked about this, haven't we? I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end.
Damn, man. Jesus. What should I say? Dang it. I'll be right back again. And I'm back. Luckily, that was only like a small little tiny time skip.
Carly likes you well enough.
I hate that I have to get the stupid fucking good ending. The mention of our little goddaughter places a conflicted look on his face. Sometimes it is cute when he denies having a soft spot for the little girl, but then sometimes it's sad and it makes me wonder what happened to make him think so poorly of himself in this regard.
Yes, well, it's Kylie. The tyke likes everybody and, on the off chance she doesn't, likes them well enough as long as they buy her sweets. And sure, that kid is great, but if I get tired of her, I can ship her back to her father at the end of the day. Having kids of our own will be a whole different monster entirely.
I hate that you make good points. I've never heard him talk about his father in anything but a business context. I recall Damien Wright kept hearing about him from my own father even before I met Luke. The business world praised him for running a tight ship, all until one mistake led to a great loss for the enterprise. It was then that the news of Luke Wright, Prodigy's son and successor to the old man, started to show up, and he aided in its recovery and growth up until the Great Recession. I'm getting a bit off track. Regardless, I have never heard him talk about his father like one would talk about family.
I think you'll be a great father.
There's a smile, no matter how half-hearted it may be. I do really think that. He might not be a good, honest man. A part of me knows that, though I try to silence it. But I know Luke well enough that he will be a better father than either Damien Wright or Henry Evans. I love my father, but he never had the time.
If it is any consolation, I think you'd be a decent mother.
Decent. Wow! On the other hand, I've never heard of his mother. A silence settles both comfortable and uncomfortable. There's a familiarity in each other's company despite the awkwardness that has transpired. Defenses and masks down, without anybody else looking, we are both together and alone in this quiet. Damn it. But a crash from downstairs startles us both out of our revelry. Luke lets out a heavy sigh before coming up to his feet and straightening his jacket.
I'll have to attend to that then.
Be good, darling.
Don't leave me alone in this house! No! I don't want to be alone in this house!
And watch out for your blood pressure.
He gives me a kiss on the cheek before leaving while I lay there in a daze. I don't want to be alone in this house, alone as per usual. I don't want to be alone though. Aw, adorable. The right couple moved to their nearly bought mansion today and were already preparing for a housewarming party. During a short break, the couple had a brief discussion about children. Luke didn't sound too welcoming of the idea. I really should be used to it by now. I can feel the minutes tick by with me just lying there feeling miserable and full of self-pity. I've rolled over to lie on my stomach at this point with my face buried in the pillows when there's a knock at the door. Grumbling at them to go away doesn't work as a voice comes from the other
Madam,
side.
the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
Wait, is that today? Oh yes, people have caught wind of our new mansion and the very moment we left the open house. Luke had boasted he could acquire the property in no time and allowed a photo shoot for an interior design magazine to be scheduled today. Well, there were complications and it took longer than it usually does for us.
In a minute, Hansi.
Johannes, if you could at least make it through the end.
Tell them I'll be right down, Hansi.
Johannes. Okay, I'm sorry, I've been pronouncing your name wrong. The mansion grounds has been one of the first things to be fixed up aside from the bedroom. Although it's still a work in progress. It had a promising start and I can already see the flower patches. Luke's favored daffodils stand out easily, having been transplanted from the pots that used to litter the rooftops of our penthouse. Why, if the moving crew thought that Luke was being hard on them, they clearly didn't see the landscapers on his way out. The man looked like he was ready to faint, and Luke seemed ready to kill him by the end of their discussion. Stuck! Oh, it's good to see you, bro! It is in the gardens that I see him standing near the flowers in quiet admiration. He is hard to miss, the hulk of the man that clearly did not belong, and the big backpack and suitcase he has with him makes him look much larger. It is a peculiar, can't read today. I'm so sorry, guys. It is a peculiar sight seeing someone who looks like he does handling little delicate things with such care. He looks up from the gardens and does a double take before a friendly face replaces his serene expression.
Miss Wright, yeah? Hi, Zachary Steele here from Luxury Living, ma'am. Hope you weren't waiting too long. But it looks like you're still moving in, huh? Thought for a second there my calendar was wrong and I came here too early.
You look familiar. Have we met?
Yep. I have a very wide social circle, so everyone looks familiar at one point or another. But one would think I'd remember someone who stands out like him. The struggle to recall must have been evident on my face as he quickly and kindly answers my question.
I was with Isabella, your estate agent, when she had the house blessed.
Oh, yes, that's right. Small world, isn't it?
You better
Should have known you were Miss Wright.
apologize.
The one and only. Welcome to Maison de Wright. And yes, we've been in the process of moving in as we were delayed, but it won't be a problem. They're just adding a few things here and there, and you should still be able to do your work. Where's the rest of your crew then, Mr. Steele?
Zach is fine, please. Mr. Steele makes me feel like I'm a mascot for a cleaning product.
I get it.
Anyway, I'll be your one-man crew for today. Don't worry, been doing this gig for a while now.
You must be quite the veteran to handle this on your own.
That's because Zach's freaking awesome.
We've had a full crew coming into our penthouse the last time we were covered in your magazine.
Veteran? Oh, your words are too kind, Miss Wright.
Hana, if I get to call you Zach, you have my permission to call me Hana.
Alrighty then.
Zach's so nice, man. Zach's too nice.
Anyway, I'm no veteran, but I know my camera well enough to make sure this is a good shoot. You can trust me on that, Miss Wright, Hana.
Zachary proves quickly enough that I can, in fact, trust him. His skills with a camera and experience in this industry, at the very least. He is kind and courteous, listening and following as I lead him around the house. A really nice fellow, and he treats our household staff well whenever we cross paths with them. I answer his questions to the best of my ability, and he is patient enough to answer mine whenever I get curious enough. For one, I ask what the bags are for. They're quite the magician's toolkit. From the inside, he had procured several items to embellish the interior with. Bowls of fruit, lemons, trays with peppermills, stacks of cookbooks, cutting boards, and glass canisters filled with colorful nuts and grains are brought in for the kitchen setting. For the bathroom, there are white towels, seashells, and decorative soaps. There are other things as well, too numerous to count, all in that large backpack.
Tricks of the trade. Softens up a room, makes a place feel more homey, and fills it up with texture. But you guys probably have better stuff I can use for this.
No lights? Don't tell me all of these are just props.
Well, I've got my tripod here. For things like these, natural light is best. I'll just have to set the shutter speed to a real slow setting, and as long as nobody steps into the shot, it'll look great.
Oh, it better.
We go through the rooms, one at a time, although we first tackle the ones that the movers have no business in anymore. Damn, that's pretty. The barroom needs little preparation with its grand design, although there is some trouble at first with the wide open space and the pictures being backlit. It is in the kitchen that Zachary's props come in handy, considering how Johannes kept the place so neat and sterile, one can practically eat off the floor. We carry on touring the house and taking pictures where we can, with exception to the rooms which have yet to gain any purpose or design. Too bad I can't take a sneak peek at his photos yet. Funnily enough, he is using a traditional camera. I didn't even know film still existed. With the way he speaks, however, I can see that he knows enough about his craft that I'm not too worried about botched photographs. I imagine photography must be cathartic for him, judging by how at ease he looks while taking pictures. There are small snippets of conversation in between the clicking of the camera. He even goes as far as to talk about these terminologies like shutter speed and aperture when I ask about the technical aspects. I can't quite see the picture as it is made, much like when I watch artists paint on their canvas. But just watching someone passionately practicing their craft such as this is exciting in its own way. Going through the many rooms has been quite the exercise for both of us. Despite this, he has been so nice, and I find myself putting on my best smile. But it is as we're taking pictures of the foyer that everything comes to a standstill for a moment. Just a moment. And have I not been paying attention, I wouldn't have even noticed. It is merely a split second when Zachary's rhythm is put to a halt. His finger doesn't move to release the shutter. Yet he also doesn't pull the camera away from his face, gaze still firmly fixed through the viewfinder. His hands shake and there's a light sheen of sweat on his forehead.
Zachary?
No response.
Zach? Is something the matter?
Lowering his camera, he blinks and stares at something behind me before shaking his head. Thank you. Turning around, though, I see nothing that could got.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something I saw. Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
I struggle to respond this time. There's a sudden weight on my back and the indescribable tightness around my throat. Everything stops, and everything starts again as I manage to choke out.
If you're sure.
I don't know what just happened. It was probably just a dizzy spell. I'm fine. And he said he's fine. We continue at the same pace as before, although there is an unspoken agreement that we will not talk about what happened.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Nah, I just freelance mostly for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job.
That sounds like it could be.
It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do. At least, not all the time.
What is it that you want to do then?
Yes, spill. Maybe I've been out of line sticking my nose in other people's business, but I can't help but ask. I regret doing so as I see his shoulders slump and the easygoing air he has fades away. And like that, I'm saving. He looks torn over whether he wants to talk about it or
Films, documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right?
not. Kind of, unfortunately.
I was working on this thing, actually.
What thing?
Well, it wasn't really a big thing. People didn't like Blue Foncé very much.
Oh, that's how you say it. Bleu foncé.
People don't like a film about colors. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bibby a lot more.
Very funny.
So, Grand Director, do you want to tell me what Bleu Foncé is all about?
He hesitates. But when I refuse to budge on the matter, he gives in and spills it all out. Bleu foncé le... I don't speak French, and I'm not even going to try to butcher that, so you guys can read it. Dark blue, the darkest hours of the Black British. He speaks with passion of one who has gone through the very matter he is concerned with. There is conviction, knowledge, and experience in his speech. Why, I would have told him that he is an amazing speaker if only I wasn't so engrossed listening. Prejudice and discrimination in schools and in the workplace. Lesser chances for opportunity and higher chances of being treated like a criminal. He spoke of blacks and people of color in general still being treated like second-class citizens, all because of the color of their skin. It is all just positively riveting. And sad. And horrible. And he's just sad, like what's that? It comes to a point wherein he soon loses steam. He looks abashed, realizing what he had just
Sorry, I just got so carried away and...
It's fine. It is really so fascinating to watch people talk about their passion after all. You should see how your eyes light up when you speak so fiercely. You do have very beautiful eyes.
Don't flirt with him! Don't you dare flirt with him! You are married!
Uh-huh. Thanks, I guess.
I want to say that I understand where he coming from. You do not! But I really don't, do I? No, you don't! I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth and I lived a charming life. And something else! It hasn't been perfect, but the difficulties I've been through pale in comparison to what others experience on a daily basis. I certainly don't know how I would have fared were it any different. Would I still have met Luke, and would he still have loved me if I was any lesser?
What was your home like? These things you talk about, it sounds like you've... Well, I don't mean to pry, I mean.
Live with my older sister and my grandparents. We had a shop selling all sorts of things below our flat. And well, I was one of the few non-white, non-British students in class. I didn't get pushed around or anything straight up. Even then, I was one of the biggest kids around. But a pencil and notebook would go missing, you know?
Oh, that I knew. Children can be so cruel at times. Of course, it may be a slightly different story when you have personal guards and the stolen item is not a pencil but an expensive heirloom.
So what about you? How you liking your new house? It's pretty impressive.
It's nice, I suppose.
You suppose? Not big enough?
What? No, oh, don't be a bully. It's just that...
I understand if you don't want to talk about it.
I was a little girl, all dolled up and treated like fragile porcelain, with nursemates waiting to meet hand and foot. All the material possessions anyone could ever want, I could ask for on a whim, and it would be handed to me just like that. And saving again, because I feel like I'm gonna have to come up with, like, more choices. But I barely saw my parents, just goodbye kisses in the morning before they went off to who knows where they were needed to next. I saw them more often on the telly or in the papers than I ever did in person.
I remember my old house. It was a lot like this one. Big walls and big halls, but nobody in it. Not really. It makes you think how alone you are.
A pensive mood overcomes us, and there's a moment where neither of us are sure of how to go on from there. Things have gotten a bit too personal, yet it isn't wholly uncomfortable, like as if we've been friends before.
Well, that's normal, ain't it? You just moved here. You'll make home out of it yet.
Zach is so sweet! He certainly makes it easy to believe that. My childhood house is indeed a lot like this one. Just as large and extravagant, and just as empty. I hope he's right.
So, Monsieur le Photographe, you've covered the one and only Ermengarde Mansion. What's next on the agenda?
The interview?
Boring. It's an interior design and housing magazine.
And they want to know what Miss Wright has to say about her interior design and house.
Honor Wright thinks she bought a magnificent house that she can certainly brag about. Blah, blah. Boring. You know what they should print more of? I watched an interesting documentary the other day. Bleu Foncé, The Darkest Hours of the Black British. I recommend you watch it. Those are the things that people should know about. What do they care if I use a purple or green bowl of fruit in my kitchen?
People, right?
Oui. People are shite. What do you think? Do I look good with this angle?
I strike a pose while he's being busy, looking taken aback for a moment, probably not expecting me to just go and say such a crass word. But he recovers quickly, and after snapping a few shots, he grins.
Yeah, vous êtes belle. You want copies of these ones?
Yes, please. So, the big boy knows French. You must have wooed a few ladies. Unless you're into gents. Either way, French is, after all, the language of romance.
And so is Italian, and so is Spanish. They're called the love languages after all.
Oh, I don't know about quoting fancy poetry. But I've made lunch for a girl before, and they did like that fancy French cuisine.
Can you cook your best?
But, what?
I can cook just about anything as long as I know the recipe.
C'est magnifique.
It has been too long since I had a nice and proper chat with a good friend. No, Lee is certainly not a good friend. And although we've just met, Zachary is the sort who can probably befriend anyone. He's just a comfortable person to be around. I know! He's amazing! Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna try to go for longer next time, just because this game is 30 hours, and I do not want to be playing this for many, many, many videos for you guys. I'll try to get at least an hour and 30 minutes next time. So, expect that. I'm really liking the story. I maybe misjudged Hannah a little too quickly. She comes from another place, and that does kind of paint how she acts and treats people, though seriously, it's not that hard to get Isabella's name right. Like, it's not that complicated. It is not that complicated. Just replace the E with an A. E with an A. Okay? It's Isabella. Isabella. Ugh. Anyway. I have been your host. Thanking you so much for watching. Till next time.